Eris Morn and Drifter have been a couple for some time, or very close to it. For years now, they've been flirting back and forth, and in the last couple of seasons, things have been heating up. A new Sparrow from Season of the Wish details Drifter's commitment, not just to staying in soul, not leaving when the darkness arrived or the final shape concludes, but to his beam of moonlight, Eris Morn. The relationship between these two is great. They're both weird, rogue characters that are a little out there. Eris has hive eyes and was literally just a hive god. Drifter's played people and uses primevals in a game called Gambit, Creatures of Darkness. When Destiny 2 first began and Forsaken rolled around, I would have never predicted this to have happened, but as it does, it just feels more right and wholesome. I'm not sure exactly when this started, but lines date back to Season of the Arrivals. They've shared crawdad soup in the Throne World, traded relics of Nezarec, shared moments through hardship. This man didn't even care she could transform into a hive god, possibly able to be consumed by evil in the end. He's stuck by her side.
And they have conjured me back with vengeance.
Ooh, sounds like a wild ride. Hey, I'll be there when you're on the other side of this.
As will I. Trust.
One thing's for sure though, both of these characters have been through a lot. And before we read this new lore card about Drifter's commitment, also just released was a brand new Grimoire Anthology Volume 6 that actually has a picture of Eris and her ghost before the Hellmouth incident so we can see her face. Now this is a side profile so you can't depict too much, but it's the first look at Eris Morn's face we've ever seen, even though it's just concept art and not in-game. I believe this art was done by Devin Corwin. Before we get to the relationship update, I wanted to play some dialogue from the last year to show you how things have progressed. I've made videos on this stuff before, little montages, but it's nice to have some context for the newer players. So if you've seen this before, you can go ahead and skip ahead to the lore entry if you'd like.
Moondust? You could call it a gift.
The sentiment is appreciated. The darkness moves just beneath its skin. Do you feel it? It ruptures, flows, envelops.
Ooh, I like listening to you talk.
And I enjoy your silence. I was beginning to expect better from you. Did I misjudge?
You know, Moondust, I can't figure you out.
That is not unusual.
You talk a big game about how much I irritate you, but you keep calling.
Watch yourself, Rat.
You know I always do. Thing is, since you strapped on that rig and walked out into the deep, I've been itching to know. You regret it?
Worried you couldn't hack it? From what I hear, you're a survivalist.
I've run from every damn thing, if that's surviving. But, you commit. I'm fixing to commit to something stupid myself. Get swept up in a cause. So be real. You regret it?
The Vanguard had a file on you. Doesn't paint you as the hero type. You might regret it.
Well, ain't that the truth? But here's my secret. Ain't nobody that can make me feel worse than me. Trust. Besides, you're not the only one with an ace up your sleeve. I've got a beam of moonlight keeping me going.
You never did tell me why you trust the Nine so much.
Oh, I don't. Not even a little. I trust Orin.
Orin.
long story. The short of it is, I may have had a feeling or two for somebody a long time ago. Somebody that lost themselves along the way. But there's a little piece of her still out there. A sliver. Who still has a feeling or two for the somebody I could be. So I trust her. Because she ain't never steered me wrong. No matter how rotten I was. Because at the end of the day, maybe we gotta put our faith in something other than ourselves. Even if we're too stubborn to admit it.
I didn't expect you to put a lot of stock in faith.
And I didn't expect you to lose yours and keep moving. Guess we're all full of surprises, ain't we?
I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that you're being genuine.
Oh, I'm always genuine. People just ain't always paying attention. For real, though, Moondust might have given me a push. Thought it'd help.
Sounds like familiar advice. Is it, though? Helping?
No joke? I think so.
Then we have that in common, too.
Now we come to the gloaming journeyer Sparrow. The path to the witness is within sight. We do not know what shape Riven's bargain will take, but I know that we too will not make that crossing. Drifter listened quietly as Eris spoke, her voice tense. The dark tendrils flowed thickly from beneath her bandage. I watch as those closest to me edge toward oblivion, Eris said, her hands restless in her lap. Ikora, Mara, I am unused to helplessness. She looked to Drifter, her mouth a tight line. When she spoke, it was in a ragged breath. It's happening again. We will be alone in the end. Drifter stood after a quiet moment. Eris watched him curiously. He reached out and took her by the hand. She rose, following his silent urging. Then he put his arms around her. She tensed. He began to step away, unsure. But then her arms came up and she clung to him for a desperate moment. She felt the words in his chest as he spoke again. I remember what you said. I think about it more than I should these days. What did I say? That we live in the night if we have to. We do it for what comes after. Eris nodded and sighed. The pair parted, but he kept a reassuring hand on her arm. So this is where you wish to be, she said cautiously. At the end of all things? Nowhere else. No more schemes to leave Soul. He was quiet for a moment, then shook his head, smirking. Nah, he said, and looked into her eyes. I'd miss the moonlight. So there you have the update on the relationship between Drifter and Eris Morn. Every time I read one of these cards, it's always so wholesome. And despite the final shape of the universe possibly coming to an end, these two are still together and in it for the long haul. If you'd like to see some more Destiny lore and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching and I'll catch you all in the next video.